How's it going? Be on the benches. It's your man JT. As always, coming here to rep these Miami Dolphins here on a Tuesday for you. Haven't made a video in a couple of weeks. Really been busy. Schedule has been crazy. And then also the one time I did try to make a video, gave me all kinds of problems. So I just kind of ignored it. And I didn't have the time to deal with that. But I did make a video after the Chicago Bears game, but that was obviously a crazy game, back and forth. The first game where Brock Osweiler had to step in at quarterback, and Brocktober was born and all that stuff. And then, of course, now we have the Lions game. Brock puts in another solid performance as well, but more injuries pile up. The defense does not put in a good showing. The Lions literally run all over the Dolphins, and the Dolphins take the 32-21 L. So splitting two games in the NFC North here, both at home. And so now sitting at 4-3 with a primetime Thursday night game this week. I'll give a little bit more thoughts on the Lions game, but more importantly, the Dolphins quarterback situation and just where do the Dolphins go from here. The Lions game, was unfortunate. I predicted the Lions to win, though, in my weekly picks. I just had that kind of feeling. Again, I thought the Dolphins could beat the Bears. I think the Dolphins can win this week. But when you know your team, there's just certain games that you get bad feelings of. And the Dolphins, with their injuries and how we've always struggled with young running backs and guys like Kerryon Johnson that can really be exceptional backs who can run and catch. Then you have a Matthew Stafford who can throw the ball if he needs to. You have Matt Patricia, who knows the Dolphins offense very well, coming over from New England. It was just a game that I had my nerves about, I would say. So I'm not totally stunned by the loss, but it was obviously disappointing, especially to see my defense play that way. That's not how I expected us to lose this game. I have a lot of faith in my defense, and I still do, but no doubt they put in a bad showing there for sure. As far as Matt Burke, listen, I'm not that quick to turn on guys. I think he's done a pretty good job this season. And we'll see how he goes once we get the full season and see what this defense has put out there. Then I think we can address his position, but I don't really have an opinion on that right now. As far as the quarterback situation, I don't think it's actually a controversy as far as Brock Osweiler and Tannehill. Once Tannehill is healthy, he'll be out there. He should be out there. You just get more upside. You get a more mobile quarterback, a stronger arm, in my opinion, just more natural talent as an athlete. But it has really raised a lot of concerns, and if you've been following me on Twitter or Beyond the Benches on Facebook, I've been voicing this a lot because Brock Osweiler has done a pretty good job, and when I watch these two games, in a lot of ways, the offense is exactly the same. It looks the exact same. There's a lot of the same plays. You're still relying on guys like Wilson and Grant and, Kenyon Drake or, guys like this, Kenny Stills, to kind of bail you out and save you. And so Brock Osweiler, is not coming in here and doing anything spectacular or reinventing the wheel in any way, but it's a lot like Tannehill. If your franchise quarterback doesn't feel different when he's in the game, if the game doesn't feel different when he's in it as compared to a backup quarterback, which we all know Osweiler is, then does he really need to be your franchise quarterback? And now you're also talking about the second year with a pretty lengthy and significant injury, this time to a different part of the body. And in my opinion, I don't think, there's obviously, I don't want to see Osweiler start over Tannehill, but I do think it's time to really, really consider drafting that young quarterback and drafting a new guy. As far as Tannehill's future on the team, in my personal opinion, I understand he's making $26 million, and that's why a lot of people want him cut. And I've kind of gotten to the point where if it happens, it happens. In my opinion, I would not get rid of Tannehill until you have something better than Tannehill. So if you want to go out there and draft a quarterback in the first, second round, all for it. But keep Tannehill until that young guy is actually better. Because I think it's, even though Tannehill has his problems and his trials and tribulations, it's hard to get better than him. It's hard to get a quarterback that's better than Tannehill. So I wouldn't really kick him off the team in that way, but I do think what we've seen the past few weeks has to raise a few questions at least. Gase, I still think the play calling is really not the problem. Screen pass, everyone freaks out about that. We gain yards every time. I still think it's creative. I just think a huge thing is injuries, man. And, every team deals with injuries, but you're talking about quarterback number one. You've been healthy at running back. Wide receivers now is starting to become a problem where Kenny Stills is banged up after colliding with the security guard on the sideline. Albert Wilson may be done for the year, which is just devastating. And, of course, Justin, who you pay tons of money for, has been out all year. Daniel Kilgore out all year. You lost 2 of your tight ends. Now Ted Larson has some injuries. You're losing like 3 defensive ends. I can keep going on. Rashad Jones just came back recently. It has been rough. Not to mention so many guys dealing with day-to-day or week-to-week injuries as well, like a Charles Harris. It's really unfortunate, and you can't put all the blame on injuries, but it's a little bit to do with it. Like, let's be real. I don't think this is play calling. I don't think this is that. I think you're lacking depth now. You're throwing guys out there like Jonathan Wood and Kenyon Drake, who literally had to play wide receiver last game because the rest of the team is so hurt. And it's unfortunate, and I don't know if they need a new strength and conditioning system or what, but that's really been the worst part of this season. At 4-3, though, the season isn't hopeless. They can win this Thursday. I believe they will win this Thursday. That's just my opinion. Even though we have had a really bad history of primetime games recently, I do think Miami can pull this one off. Beat Houston, go to 5-3, head into the second half of the season, still have playoff hopes alive. But, you got to be kidding yourself if you don't look at this team and see some very real concerns. And the biggest thing is this team just got to get healthy because you want to see what the team that you built in the offseason actually looks like, not what do our backups look like. So that's really all I have to say about these past 2 games and this game moving forward. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I will see y'all around. Peace.